Hey guys, this is Joe Sapien,
Hey, that's Costa.
and we're here to start a podcast to try to figure out to help you guys with veterans benefits.
Yep. So I guess first question would be why podcast? Why?
Uh, the easiest way to try to get to people that probably don't live near a veteran service officer or have a VA close to their home.
Well, and I like podcasts in general, and I feel like it's a great time to listen to it while you're driving, when you have to kill some time, or just best way to reach people. And it's informative. Sometimes it can be funny, can be provocative, and I think it like our goal is to make it useful for you guys.
Definitely trying to get to the goals of what you guys are trying to accomplish, trying to get the higher disability percentages or what benefits that are out there for you. Make it as easy as possible.
And for myself, I'm still trying to figure out how some stuff works. I'm not 100% savvy about what's going on or about what forms we got to use, what information, and where to find that information. So I might be helpful for you guys the same way as you might be helpful for me. And I see it as an exchange, not just like one-way information flow.
Definitely. So if you guys have any questions out there about what's going on with you guys or any of your disability claims or questions you have in the VA in general, let us know. We currently live in Los Angeles, California, so we're pretty good with doing veterans disability claims when it comes to the state of California. The other state benefits for where you guys live in, I'm not too sure of, but we could always try to figure it out.
Um, Besides disability claims, you might have any other questions. So might be
Missing medals, education, trying to find your grandparents' military records or medals that they may have earned, discharge upgrades in case you got something lower than what you should have, places to go in case you need help or need more medical records to build up your case. Practically anything. Ask any questions you want. We'll try to figure it out.
and I guess to add to what George just said, maybe you want to buy a house and you're trying to get a VA loan. I might not know about VA loan, but I'm eager to search online, figure it out, ask Joe, ask somebody else how it works, what kind of paperwork you got together, and I might be able to share my own experience.
Definitely. Anything's up open. So if you have questions of us personally, that's not a problem either. Like I'm myself a U.S. Army veteran,
Same for me.
so there you go.
Uh, well, I got a question for you,
Yeah.
Joe. Why don't you just share a little bit about yourself, about your background?
Um, I joined the Army in 2001. I had a 2-year enlistment at the time. Got out in 2003 after the stop loss, so I served a little bit longer than my 2 years, but that's all I did. So I was part of the initial part of the Iraq invasion, but I was stationed in Jordan in 2003. Um, After that, I moved back to Modesto, California, and worked with homeless vets, and bounced over here to Los Angeles, where I'm now a veteran service officer for LA County.
Um, well, a little bit about myself. Like eventually, you can hear from my accent that I was born outside United States. Came here first time when I was 15. Was kind of exchange program, and then later went back, did all my studies, got all my degrees. But I always wanted to join the army, and that was my chance actually when I came here to U.S. Was back, I guess, came back in 2008, 2009. Joined U.S. Army and served for 3.5 years. But my initial plan was to go officer. But at that time, I couldn't, you know, uh, get to an officer position just because I wasn't a U.S. citizen. So I guess I was a little bit tricked by a recruiter, and he told me that you'll be able to get to an officer.
Green and gold didn't work.
Green gold. No, well, it worked a little bit maybe later because when I joined my like at basic training, I wasn't able to do any paperwork later. At AIT, I was told that I got to go to my unit and then like file for green to gold. When I got to my unit, we deployed in 1 month, like in 2 months. So went to Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, pretty much got all my paperwork straight, but then the regulation changed. I was too old to file. And when I came back again, regulation changed. So I was like pretty open to file. But at that point, I had some, medical issues, and couldn't go to any schools. Had a hernia surgery, and then I decided, like me and my wife, that there is no point for me to pursue and go to green to gold.
Yeah.
So I got out as like with the same rank as that I got in. So I got in as a specialist and got out as a specialist, but all the time I was a supply surgeon.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I was also an E4, but I was with Patriot Missiles with Fort Bliss.
Yeah, and yeah, that's a little bit of background about us, and don't think, guys, that we know like everything. We're still trying to figure out things, how it works, and but we might be able to ask like different people from.
Definitely, this is just an idea of trying to get you guys where you need to go a little bit easier and get around the VA's red tape a little bit. But it's all just an idea. It's all just trying to help what we can do.
And I had another question I wanted to ask you, Joe. Like, what would be your like personal idea why to do podcasts, like for yourself? Do you have any feelings why?
It's not really for myself as much as for others. I come from a small town, Modesto, California, so there wasn't really a big VA influence. There really wasn't a lot of people that pushed veterans' disability claims. So when I got out, I absolutely had no idea of it. I honestly didn't learn about veterans' disability benefits until I started working with homeless vets. And they were the ones that showed me how to do it, and they were the ones that helped me actually go through school when I was going through college. After that, I figured out, being in Los Angeles, I was fortunate to hang out with other veterans in a bigger community and actually learn what veteran benefits are out there. And so I know a lot of these smaller towns in the U.S. may not be getting the benefits and the things that they deserve, so hopefully this might be able to get a way to get to you guys and hopefully figure that out so you get what you deserve.
Yeah, I guess same applies to me, but I would say definitely, to make your life meaningful, you got to do something, and to make it meaningful, like the best way is probably just to share what you know and to help others.
And we were certainly fortunate enough to find people to help us with our benefits, help us to get where we are today, and now it's just pushing that forward. So even when you guys get your own benefits, find your neighbor, find your friend that you talk to, and help them get their stuff, because really the only way that any of this works is veterans helping vets. Doesn't matter if it's a good attempt or a bad attempt, it's just attempting to try to help each other.
Yeah, and like same for me, and if I would like look back maybe a couple of years ago when I got out, I didn't know much, so I had to go online, check forums, and actually Joe and there was another guy, actually, I forgot his name, but who helped me initially with my initial claim. And he pretty much explained me and like what I have to do, how I have to do it. And I also liked what Joe told me last time, probably maybe a month ago. And that's just might be a step for you, especially when you get out and try to adjust to civilian life if you don't have a good plan. Or sometimes it's difficult to get a plan because you don't know what you're going to do or what you want to do. If you don't take your time, to think about it and like, what should I do? Like, what should I follow? So that help from VA might be just a step for you to get somewhere else, like to get like a step ahead, a step further, like with your plans and with your life. So
yeah, definitely. Especially you younger guys, don't look at this as a disability as much as something you've earned. So get what you earn and get to the next step of what you're trying to do in life. But don't look at it as a disability. I think it's things that you earned. You got your medals for a reason, but your medals don't feed you. So this is at least something that puts money in your pocket, hopefully pays the rent a little bit, hopefully could end a little bit of the homeless population with veterans, and use it to get to that next step of what you need to do in life.
And at the same time, so let's say if you don't need any of those disabilities right now, but if you establish some of the health conditions right now, so as for myself, like I'm 35 years old, like even at 60 something hits me like really bad, I'll have much more easier time to prove that what I have or what I had, like besides the issues that's going on like with myself right now, even though I look like a young and maybe perfectly in shape guy, like my back is like in bad shape. It doesn't go back anyway.
Yeah, and definitely, like, you could ask the Vietnam guys and the Korean War and the World War II vets. You might think your knee's okay now, but eventually when you get older, it's gonna come back. It's gonna mess with you, and so get it taken care of now. Get it recognized now. So when you get older and you actually have to have knee surgery and you actually have to take time off work to get recuperated from it, at least the VA is gonna back you up. You don't want to get caught when everything goes bad.
Yeah, so that would be it for our introduction, and I think like our plan, at least for the first podcast and maybe later, to make probably some general podcasts like structured around one of the disabilities or one of the questions that we might be find useful or you would ask us, and also do some kind of short podcasts at the same time to be like really specific about this or that form or this or that subject. So you might find me and Joe in future podcasts. It might be just Joe, it might be just me explaining something, or it might be me and him and somebody else like telling his story.
Yeah, and it's all just trying to figure it out. So whatever is popping up or whatever situation you got going, let us know. We'll figure it out, but at least we'll try to show you guys how to do a basic claim. Probably won't touch too much on pensions just because you probably want to talk to a service officer or somebody who knows what they're doing when it comes to pensions. But when it comes to service-connected disabilities, your education, your home loan, your family's benefits, potential benefits that might come down the road, let us know and we'll try to figure it out for you.
Yeah, so thanks for listening, thanks for attention, and subscribe and send us your questions.